Joining us today is Dylan Howard, the Associate Head Men's Basketball Coach at Morehead State University in Morehead, Kentucky. And Coach Howard, we appreciate your time today. Your 19th season of coaching basketball at the collegiate level, your third year here at MSU, and the program has shown significant improvement during your time as associated with the staff. Let's get into a couple questions today. You're a coach who appears to be on the rise. Tell us if you aspire to be a head coach and how you've prepared yourself to take that next step in your career.
Well, I think one of the things that I've been real fortunate, I've actually have already been a head coach, and I've been a head coach at two different universities at the NCAA Division III level. Started off at Hardin-Simmons University, coached there for 7 years. Then I had spent a year at North Park University before I was hired here as the associate head men's coach here at Morehead State. I've always had dreams and aspirations of being a Division I head coach, and I'm glad I spent my time at the Division III level because that has enabled me to really get a good feel for what it takes to be a head coach, and even at the next level. Because at the Division III level as a head coach, you have to be a part of the program doing everything as far as recruiting, learning how to do a budget, running camps, being involved in the community and public relations. So I had a hand in everything in building both the Division III programs that I was a part of. My aspirations as far as being a head coach, I mean, it started at an early age. I was very fortunate to have some great mentors in my life. Starting in high school with my high school coach, Harlan Frick, played for a great coach in college and Coach Gene Bartow. And me and Coach Bartow had a great relationship. And I actually was captain for the last 2 years at UAB. And I would always just sit down with Coach Bartow and try to learn everything I could as far as what it would take to be an assistant coach first, and then I would pick his brain as far as what would it take, coach, for me in future years to become a head coach, and he would always just give me good advice.
You alluded to this a little bit, Coach Howard, but tell us about your leadership style, and if you were to take that next step and become a Division I head basketball coach, how you would lead that program.
Well, first of all, when you take over a program, you have to have a foundation. You have to have a philosophy. My philosophy is very simple. I would build my program with three things. One, you got to be organized. Organization is such a big key in running a program. Everyone will follow a leader if he's organized, and that means being organized as far as making sure you hire a very good staff. You have to delegate to your assistants what their responsibilities and what their job will be. And you have to, as you're starting to put together your team and as you recruit, you set goals for your players to where they know exactly what the goals are and how we're going to accomplish those goals. Also, you have to be disciplined. There has to be a certain amount of discipline in your program to, once again, those players need to know what are the rules, what are going to be the consequences if I break such a rule. You have to make sure that they know that you care for them, but there's going to be some stern consequences when they break certain rules. And then last but not least, you have to have what I would call detail and fundamentals in your program when you're starting to build a program. Fundamentals is very important as you look for players and when you're starting to recruit. Detail, you got to be detail oriented. You can't leave anything, no stones unturned when you're building a program. You got to make sure that your assistant coaches are detail oriented to where make sure that every little aspect of the program, how you want things run, you got to spell it out. It's got to be down in writing. You got to have it down in writing to make sure that everyone understands what their role is in order to have a successful program.
Your current school, Morehead State University, has more than 10,000 students, has roughly 1,000 employees. Tell us, Coach Howard, the role that you think athletics plays in the overall mission of a university.
I think it's just huge because just about every single university, your athletics, especially men's basketball and in some cases your football program, they're the face of that university. They're the ones that's going to get the most publicity. You have to be involved within your campus community and within your city community. You have to reach out to the student body. You have to let them know that you're involved in every aspect. And, one of the things that we've been able to do here at Morehead State is get the fraternities and sororities involved. As far as coming out to the games, we'll go out and speak to the different fraternities and sororities to just let them know that, we're all in this together and we need your support in order for us to have a good program. We've been involved with the elementary schools as far as out in the community, doing reading programs. Sometimes elementary schools will have a fun day and we'll go participate in the fun days with them. And then also just to make sure that everyone knows that academics is still first and foremost when we're involved in campus community. We've been very fortunate this year to recruit players that really take academics very serious, where we had a 3.2 team GPA in the fall. And I think that just helps to go along with letting everyone know that we are involved in the mission of the campus. As far as academics will always come first, but athletics is a huge part.
You've seen college athletics from a lot of different perspectives. You played at UAB, went to a couple NCAA tournaments, played at a very high level there. You've been talking throughout today's interview about the levels you've coached as both a head coach and an assistant coach. Tell us your opinion about student athletes being compensated, because I know that's been a pretty hot topic in the national media here for the past couple of years.
Yes, and it's funny that this has come up now because when I signed with UAB, I attended the University of Alabama, Birmingham. I actually thought it was the norm for student athletes to get some type of compensation because we lived in, Coach Bartow, he was kind of ahead of his time. We lived in like apartment style dorms, and we're talking back in the mid 80s. But we only were allowed to eat at the cafeteria one time. So we got a stipend every month. And our stipend was like $200. So I've always thought it was the norm until I actually got into the coaching world. But I really do feel as though today's climate and the way things are right now, I feel as though student athletes should be compensated. Now, I know the big argument is, well, how do you compensate each individual because each sport is different? The argument is, well, football and basketball are pretty much your two main revenue sports. So how do you compare that to, say, someone that's on a golf scholarship, tennis scholarship, baseball scholarship? I think there's got to be a way to figure out where each student athlete should be able to get a fair amount of compensation. Now, what that is, I'm not sure. I'm not the expert on that, but I do feel as though in today's climate and the way the economics are at this point that there's got to be a way to where if you want to go out and eat a pizza or have some money to do your laundry or just to go see a movie, there's got to be a way that student athletes should be compensated for that, just so they can feel the whole environment of the student body.
Well, it looks like that'll wrap us up for today, Coach Howard. Dylan Howard, the Associate Head Men's Basketball Coach at Morehead State University. Thanks for your time. We enjoy working with you, and we wish you all the best moving forward.
Thank you. I appreciate it.